right, thanks for joining us today for this quick look at Wonder Woman and Jumpa from the con exclusive DP20-003 is the figure number. We're going to take a quick look at the card and then we're going to break down how you can use this figure in action. All right, so let's take a quick look here. What she has going on is actually more than I originally thought, so this one's pretty cool. She has a trait which gives her in-cap as free with a range value of 4. Now Wizkids has given clarifications and erratas on a couple things related to this one, but we'll break it down in the video. Basically for that trait, it's the same as the Lasso of Truth in the Wonder Woman 80 set. It's free, make an attack, use an in-cap where you have to give the action tokens. Alright, she has a second trait, which is her retail. Free, if no friendly character has been placed this turn, choose an opposing character within 8 squares that dealt damage to a friendly character since your last turn. Place Wonder Woman and Jumpa adjacent to that opposing character, then she can use Force Blast at no cost, targeting all adjacent opposing characters. She also has a special movement power, which is Charge, Flurry, and Force Blast, and a special defense, which gives her energy shield deflection, super senses, and toughness. She has improved movement, hindering, and elevation, and characters. The hindering doesn't really come into play anymore. You'll notice she also does not have the Wonder Woman team ability, unfortunately, to pair up with that super senses special defense. Okay, on the back of the card, she is coming in at 75 or 25 points. 75 points gets you 6 clicks, 25 gets you 2. She starts with that special movement if you play her on the high value, and it's paired with Quake and Leadership on click 1, and the special defense on the first 3 clicks. She alternates on the damage powers between Leadership and Prob. And if you play her at 25, she starts on Leadership, goes to Prob. 2 clicks long with Invuln and Charge. Okay, remember that special movement is going to give her Charge, Flurry, Force Blast. She has the 2 team abilities, JSA and JLA. A couple good things here to note. The 2 frees. So she has 2 traits that both give her a free thing to happen. The in-cap free make an attack is great because you can move her and then attack. And then the retails that are free are fantastic because you can use it to kind of change your placement, do the free retail, and then follow up with an attack, or the other way around. You can do your attack, then free retail against somebody that attacked you last turn or damaged somebody last turn. All right, let's take a quick look at the sculpt. The kangaroo looks pretty cool. Wonder Woman looks a little bit strange. Let's see if we can focus in. All right, and I think other people have posted Wonder Woman's neck is kind of weird in there. I don't know what they're going with. Looks like they kind of put the head and attached it to a different figure's neck. All right, let's break this down on the battlefield. All right, let's take a look at a few examples of how this plays out on the battlefield. For these examples today, we're going to have Wonder Woman being teamed up with Harley, and they're going against Grey Hulk, Green Hulk, and Thing. With the Charge, Flurry, Force Blast, and the free in-cap, Wonder Woman on her own, what she has on her top click is a 12 movement, Quake, and the special defense and Leadership. So she can Charge, Flurry, and Quake can be combined now. So depending on what the setup is, if you have people, if your opponent is kind of gathered together here, everybody's next to each other, she could charge in. Now, another great thing on this character is she has the improved movement characters. So she could charge into the square that's to your advantage. So we could charge her in. She could go up to up to 6. For this example, we're just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. She'll charge right there. Then she can Flurry Quake. Now she's going to have knockback from the Quake, but she also has Force Blast on that special movement, so she has knockback that way also. So she could Flurry Quake the first time, dealing out 2 damage, depending on what their defenses are. Then she could Quake the second time, dealing out the 2 damage, and take advantage of the knockback on the second attack. Knockback now will knock them back 3. Doesn't matter how much damage they do. So Green Hulk would go down here. Thing would go diagonal. And Gray Hawk would go over. Then she could follow up with Incap as free with a range of 4. So she can make her free attack, use an Incap where she has to give out the action token. So she could target one of these characters. Since it was only 3 knockback, then they should be within that 4 range. That knockback then also can be used to reposition, get them next to the rest of your team, and then follow up with additional attacks. Second example, we can use that same special movement power. So now she's a little bit further away, and we have just Gray Hulk as the target that we want to get to. So she can charge 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She can make her attack here. Now she could just do Flurry, charge Flurry. You don't have to use that Quake. She'd be hidden for 3 on each attack, so she'd Flurry the first time, do the second Flurry attack. On the second one, she could take advantage of the knockback from Force Blast, and she could knock Hulk back 3. Then again, follow up with the Incap as free. All right, next example. On this one, let's say that Harley got attacked last turn and damaged by, we'll say, Gray Hulk. So Gray Hulk attacks and damage. Okay, next turn, then Wonder Woman, she's already within 8, so she can do her retail, or she can start with an attack. It just depends on what you want to do. On this one, we'll do the example of she can charge in to here, charge Flurry. Okay, she could Quake depending on what their reducers are. She could Quake onto everybody, and then Quake again, maybe not doing the knockback, maybe doing the knockback. Okay, let's say that she does do the knockback. So she did her regular, charge, Flurry, Quake, knocks everybody back 3. Okay, then she can, since Gray Hulk damaged a character, she can do her free and be placed next to Gray Hulk because he's within 8. She could make her her free, place Wonder Woman adjacent to that character. Then she can use Force Blast at no cost, targeting all adjacent characters. So then she can knock back 1, 2, 3. And then she can do her free Incap and give an action token if she hits. All right, for this example, let's say that Green Hulk has attacked Harley way over here. So it's hard to see on the screen because I want to show that Green Hulk is more than 8 squares away. So that her retail power is opposing character within 8 squares. So where she stands right now, she couldn't charge to get to Green Hulk to do a regular attack. She can't be placed with the free to get the Green Hulk. But what she can do is, since it's a free on the retail, she can move, and she has a far movement. So she has a 12 movement with JLA. She could move up to 13. So you could keep Wonder Woman and Jumpa pretty far back. As your other characters are engaged, if they take damage, she has a real far reach on where she can move to get within 8. So on this one, she can move right up next to him, but she only needed to get within 8. So even if she just moves a square or 2, then she's within 8. So now she can free, place, do her retail with the Force Blast, so knock him away, and then she can free make an attack with Incap. All right, so a real far reach with repositioning. The charge with a 6 movement charge Flurry can get you a lot of the way to get off the Flurry attacks and then the retail, or a super long movement to then get within 8 and then retail. to knock the characters away and put them in better positions for follow-up attacks from your other teammates. Now, something that doesn't work, and I'll link to the Wizkids clarifications and such in the description below, but you might think, since Wonder Woman has make an attack with incap, given tokens, and she has Quake on her dial, you might think that you can charge incap. Because they both do something instead of normal damage. What Wizkids clarified was that if both instead of normal damage clauses are an option, then you can choose which one to use. But if it's not an option, then you can't swap them out, basically. So when she does her Quake targeting 2 or more figures, instead of normal damage, you deal 2 damage to each. So that's not an option. If you target more than 2, you must do the 2 damage. So you can't really combine the Quake with giving out tokens to everybody when you have more than 2 people there. All right, hopefully you enjoyed the video. I think this figure is more fun than I originally thought. So with those 2 free things, her far reach, I can't wait to play test her in some actual matches and see how it goes. But she can really push a lot of the figures around the map and set up additional attacks for your the rest of your team. With that far reach and the improved movement character, she can get behind the front line and then knock back people towards your figures. So that's pretty cool. With a lot of keywords that you can use on a ton of builds. She has Amazon, Justice League, Justice Society, Trinity, not so much. Animal, there's a ton of teams right now with that. Deity is usually pretty solid. Mystical, I've seen some great teams. Past is so-so. But there's a bunch of teams now with Amazon, Justice League, of course, Animal, Deity, Mystical. So a lot of different builds you can get her on. All right, thanks for watching. Check it out. If you dig what we do, go ahead and like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.